Devon.
Support Bubble.
Hello. It is time to discuss semi-final 2 of Eurovision 2021. There are 17 songs, but only 10 can make the final. Should we discuss it?
Let's do this.
All right, before this video, we each came up with our own lists of 10 qualifiers.
Can I just say, this was a bonding exercise unlike semi-final 1, where literally we were drawing the knives out.
Yeah, this is a much easier semi-final, according to us anyways, and we agreed on 9 of the 10 acts. So
History in the making.
Yes.
9 locks.
So let's discuss these one by one. The first country let's quickly review who... Devin. Girl, people live here. We cannot shout.
Oh, sorry. It's daytime though.
Whoops. Okay. Let's quickly review the 17 competing countries. Yes. In the first half, we have San Marino, Estonia, Czech Republic, Greece, Austria, Poland, Moldova, Iceland, and Serbia.
And in the second half, Georgia, Albania, Portugal, Bulgaria, Finland, Latvia, Switzerland, and Denmark.
So let's quickly go through the countries that we agreed on. First up, Switzerland.
Oh, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Switzerland is definitely in. You know, I had doubts last year about Répondez-moi, but even then, I still thought it was in, but now it firmly sits near the top of victory for me.
Yeah, this is a favorite to win not just this semi-final, but all of Eurovision for good reason. The music video suggests the ambition, the scale, the graphics. You know, it's like a sci-fi movie. He said that he's going to have special effects. In our interview, he said there's going to be special lighting. So it makes me think there's going to be some real big tricks. And ultimately, it's a fantastic song. Very modern and yet classic. The production is everything. There's no way this is not qualifying. He would have to, I don't know, swallow an egg and attempt to sing the song with the egg in his throat. And he won't do that because he told me in an interview he doesn't like to eat before he performs.
I have a completely different voice when I eat before or if I don't eat before, you know. And I sing even better if, for example, I have a concert at 8 p.m. and I don't eat the whole day. And after, I'm like...
But even with the egg challenge, I think he's still making it through. This is a song with a heart.
Yes.
And, it really does tug on your heartstrings. And I know that visually they're working on something really magical. He wrote the song. He connects with the song. That's going to be emoted in his performance. I think this is, if you're shortlisting 5 songs for victory, this would be amongst them. And I think that this is definitely going through.
It's so exciting. Switzerland, welcome to the game. All right, next up is Finland. We both agree about Blind Channel. This sounds like nothing else in the competition. Yes, there's another rock song in Italy, but this is distinct even from that. I think they've got great charisma. I think they're rocking out. Yes, it sounds like Linkin Park. Yes, that's fine. Linkin Park has had mega hits. They've continued to stand the test of time. Go on Spotify, look at all those billions of views. All I know is this. They put on a show at UMK, and they will put on a show at Eurovision, I have no doubt.
And it also sounds like Limp Bizkit. Again, they've sold countless hits, records and stuff. Darude is actually working with them as well, which is also very exciting.
Amazing. Love him.
Yeah, this is fantastic. The momentum on Blind Channel, I feel, has peaked. But it's still going to peak within the top 10 of its semi-final.
Yeah, I don't think it ever, slowed. No one ever stopped talking about them. When you look at the running order, they are immediately after Bulgaria. So we're going to go from, a contemplative soft sound to something really in your face and raucous. It's going to wake you up. Not that you'll be asleep, because I love Margot Victoria. But what I'm saying is that tonal shift will work in their favor.
There are those who say that if it's, mind you, actually, no, it's not going to be a dead arena. It's 3,500 people. Yeah.
Rock on.
This will rock on.
Yes. Now, Devin, our next lock that we both agree on is who?
Bulgaria. Performing just before Finland, right?
Yes.
Again, no-brainer. This the winner of Eurovision 2021 will come from semi-final 2. There's no doubt.
You're counting out Malta?
Oh my God!
Semi-final 1.
That's another powerhouse.
You're counting out Lithuania? You're counting out.
Okay. Now that you've reminded me. No, but back to Bulgaria. Growing up is getting old. Marvin Dietman. I think this is going to be amazing.
I have no doubt. You know, this is the one I think people are actually sleeping on. Yes, it's, you know, a top 5 favorite, but it needs to be more. I think that with Marvin Dietmann, this could be so spectacular. I think her live performance in Spain was beautiful, and that was in Spanish, not even in English. There is, of course, the really sad backstory about her father.
ALS and all of that.
And, you know, they did not write the song because of that. The song was, you know, around last year, but it gives it new meaning, renewed meaning. She understands the perils of growing old and the drama and trauma that comes with that. Growing up may be getting old, but the song Growing Up is Getting Old is not getting old.
Oh, no, it's not getting old. And you talk about the performance in Spain. What about the performance in Sofia, the very first unveiling of that? She, you know, when she sings live, and by the way, she does enunciate beautifully, she just gives songs added texture. You know, yeah, there's all these Billie Eilish comparisons, but no, it feels so authentic to her. No surprise though, because she does co-write her own material.
Yeah, she's not a recording artist. She's actually an artist.
Yeah,
and there is a difference.
She's a singer-songwriter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I actually think this is the one I'm most excited to see on stage because it could elevate to new realms, honestly.
Oh, I do have some other ones which I'm absolutely in love with.
Well, another one we both agreed on is what?
Okay, with reservation, but Moldova is going through.
Give me some sugar, dun 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 dun.
I don't like this as much as you do, but I think when I was doing the semi-final 2 list, there were 7 really strong standouts and then slim pickings, and then I picked Moldova out of the reserve pack into the lock. So yeah, I think this is going through. I'm just not in love with it.
Well, I am in love with it. Kit Kat, Twix, Milky Way, Snickers, Gummy Barin. If it's got sugar...
Watch out for cavities, honey.
Girl, if I wasn't on my keto, I would be all over that stuff. This is fun. This is sticky, gooey, naughty fun, but it's also sweet. She's working with the famous Lebanese designer, Zuhair Murad. He's dressed Jennifer Lopez. He's dressed Lily Collins. That's Emily in Paris. He's dressed everyone. She's going big. She's not going home. She's going big, and she's headed direct to the final. This is a radio hit. A radio hit in Russia, in Greece, and you know you could hear this in so many different places.
Even in Cyprus and Greece, I can hear this. You know, it's got that
bum 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 bum.
Yeah,
bum bum. That xylo realness,
instrumental pump to it. You know.
It translates well across borders, and I think that's so important. It's going to be fun. She's not going to give us the candy shop in Eurovision.
I hope she doesn't.
She's not. Let me say it again. Zuhair Murad. She's going high fashion, and she's not going home.
Because there was a Barbara Dex trimming in that music video. In fact, flashes of it, and it did scare me.
We need a song like this at Eurovision. It's got that Maroon undertone. Bum 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 bum.
I'd just love to have Maroon back, quite frankly.
All right, girl, we need to move on though. Oh, this next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Our 5th lock, which we both agree on. By the way, this is not in any preferential order. This is just the ones we locked on. Who is it?
Stefania Librakakis.
Amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
Do you know, this wasn't easy. This is one I think people are sleeping on.
Yes.
I think this will do a lot better than people actually, you know, they're just kind of looking at her as this kind of, you know, small school teenage girl.
No.
But no, and I think her career is one to watch out for as well. I think she'll blossom beautifully.
This is going to be spectacular. People have talked about the staging. They're going to give us something innovative, something new. There will not be a Pegasus, but our girl will still fly up that scoreboard. I don't know why this is ranked so lowly. It's like 12th favorite or 13th at the time of recording this video. It's been as high as number 10. It deserves more. She can sing this song. It fits her. Yes, someone wrote this song for her, but it feels organic to her. I feel like Dimitris Kontopoulos, because he worked with her last year, really understands her and knows her. Is it raining?
But let's just carry on. Oh, that thing is
wobbling. Can you hold this? I'm not turning it off. Oh my God, no. This is bad. Lord, Deben, I have now dried off my body. That rainstorm really ruined our face-to-face, but I'm glad you made it home as well, safe.
I did. You know, it's so funny. When we are in deep disagreement, the sun's shining. When we agree, it's a thunderstorm.
Or perhaps Hera or Aphrodite were getting jealous that we have a new Greek goddess in town named Stephania. She's going to the final.
Straight up, straight up. Who else is in our lock?
Well, the next act that we both agreed on was Iceland.
Oh, light years ahead. You know, it's interesting because I felt you were lukewarm on this
Initially.
so long.
Yeah.
But this is definitely solidly in the top 10 of that semi-final, no doubt.
So I kind of went through a similar process to last year. The debut of this performance, I don't think it was amazing. I think it would have been better to debut it with the music video, because the music video shows the scale, the ambition, the sort of kookiness, whereas the Icelandic performance to me was a bit too homespun. There's a fine line between homespun and then quirky and amazing, and I think the video falls on the correct side of that. But ultimately, I think the song is catchy. A lot of people have written it off. They're like, oh, it's so much worse than last year. But I completely disagree. There's a friendliness and a warmth to it. And that warmth makes it loopable, to me anyway.
I think if you had to solidly pin me to a favorite, Think About Things definitely remains my favorite of the two. But this doesn't need a music video for me to like it. I like it in all its forms. You know, I like it, the national selection Song for Kepling performance. I like it as an audio file. I like it with a music video. I like it with the sort of the bedroom Yamaha treatment thing. This is great. This is really good. Daffy is such a clever songwriter. I think because of the genre of music he does, it's easy to underestimate him, but actually it's really difficult to craft those gems.
Some people have said, oh, all the songs sound the same. And I kind of think, no, they fall within the same family. It's kind of like siblings can look similar, but they can all be lovely. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing if your music sounds like your music.
Themes also draw from family experiences. You know, if he's not thinking about his daughter, he's thinking about his wife. So I think there is, you know, familiarity is good. It's warming, it's comforting, and it's signature.
Yeah, well, we move on. The next country we both agree on. This will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th, the 7th one we agree on. Do you smell gasoline and kerosene? Or how about some Adrenalina San Marino?
Hands on. Not only do we lock on this, I think we're both fairly certain that San Marino will probably get its best results this year at
Hands
Eurovision.
down. Hands down.
You know, Mr. Ryder is gonna be riding that American Airlines jet into Schiphol, Amsterdam.
Delta Airlines, United Airlines, JetBlue, AirTran, honey, Southwest, TWA coming to slay.
Don't forget United!
Ooh, girl, I said that one already. Look, I think this, will have the biggest budget of any San Marinese entry ever.
They do have big.
The music video was epic. Luca Tomasini is not cheap. Let's just put that out there. He is high-end, high-class, and it shows in all of his work. The fact that, you know, the Freaky Trip to Rotterdam videos were all so glossy, so gorgeous, so eye-catching, says everything. If they could do that with a 3-minute music video, what are they going to do on stage? They're going to invest even more. But putting all that to the side, this is not just about money. This is about a classy song. This song is excellent. The moment it starts playing, I feel it in my body, and we're going to feel it in the back of our retinas as well when it hits the stage.
Yeah. And, you know, I've seen in the comment section, we've often been criticized because we say it's a Spanish language song, and they go, oh, no, it's Italian. But it's also Spanish.
Yeah, Adrenalina.
Transcontinental, and the sound is really fresh, and she does incorporate many of her national instruments into this.
Eritrean realness.
Whoops! This is really cleverly done. You know, it's very cleverly put, it's very cleverly done. And I also really like Sunit, and I know you love her so much as well. We're still. Oh my goodness,
Girl, the phone cannot handle the weight of expectation for San Marino.
Even our devices are kind of responding to the adrenaline, honey.
Yes. You know what? I think that she's gonna surprise us. I think that she can move more than she says she can. You know, in a recent video on Instagram, she's like, I'm not a dancer, but I can move my body. I think that means she will move her body on stage. The fact that she would say that in her sort of alphabet series that she's doing makes me think she wants to emphasize movement, dancing. In that music video, there's a lot going on that she can borrow. Like, she's on a turntable at one point. She's like lying in beautiful wigs at one point,
There's
multiple
just
wigs.
so many symbols in that music video. And one thing she did say to both of us is
Water.
that she's giving Luca Tomasini complete creative control. And I understand that there are no budget limitations to his creative control. So, what are you feeling right now, William?
I'm feeling adrenalina in Italian and in Spanish, and let's throw in adrenaline in English. Shout out to those neurotransmitters. Shout out to hormones. Shout out to all of the things that Sunit references with this song. Now look, this is not a Sunit video, so we do have to move on. The next country that we both agree on, number 8, and again, this is not in any particular order, but the 8th country that we both agree on, it's Austria. Vincent Bueno.
Yeah. Oh,
People
yeah.
are writing this off, and I'm like, listen to the voice. Look at the stage director. Watch the class of the music video. This music video, Devin, is so classy.
Whilst I'm not that crazy about it, I think it's very cleverly packaged, with the raven, and then, it's just very cleverly tailored. One thing I love about this is when he opens with Amen, the song title, straight up first word, a cappella, stripped back. Vincent Bueno, this is a jury bait, and it's a comfortable jury bait. There's so much about this that I like. And this is coming from a good place, because I couldn't stand that. What was it?
Feel alive. I feel alive. I'm alive. Still alive.
To go. And thank God it went. Did you think that would have qualified?
No. I think this is more authentic. This feels like a song that he really believes in, whereas the other one was, here's a song, you can move your body, good luck. Do you know what I mean? Like, this just feels more real.
And it was also very dated,
Whereas this is kind of timeless. Some people have said this is, like, dated as well.
It's dated too. I think it's dated.
But
it sounds very One Republic.
I was about to say Ryan Tedder. Yeah. However, I think that sound ages well. I don't feel like it's so old. No, it's kind of timeless. It's emotional.
If you're listening to Kelly Clarkson, you wouldn't say that. Oh.
Since you've been gone, girl. Now look. We move on. The last country that we both predict is going through, so the 9th one that we agree on,
Before you move on to number 9, I also want to say this, that Amen was born out of pain, and when you deliver that on stage, there's a certain power that you put out, and I think that this will translate very beautifully. Also, with the staging that Cesar Sampson did, Austria is really good with staging, actually. They're very tasteful, but they toe the line between performance and art, and I think that they will package Vincent Bueno in a way that he'll forever be proud of this music clip.
It is literally the same stage director, Marvin Dietmann. He did Cesar Sampson, and he's doing Vincent Bueno. So
I have faith in this.
And he's also Austrian, by the way. Marvin Dietmann is Austrian.
Homeschooled, boo.
He knows the broadcaster. He knows the people. He'll know how to work with this. I'm not worried. All right. The 9th country we both agree on is Albania. I think that she's Devin at Wiwibloggs.com. I think she's serving something sensual. Something, yeah, sensual. It's just very sensual and kind of sophisticated. It's the only truly ethnic song you know, you've got Serbia, yes, singing in Serbian, kind of like a turbo folk Balkan pop thing, whereas Albania is going for like the traditional music route. Do you know what I mean? Sophisticated ballad influenced by history, influenced by millennia of these sounds. I think it's very powerful.
And, you know, borrowed sounds, you know, and I say that in a positive way, just because a lot of, you know, Bulgaria will kind of see things to draw from it, you know, Romania, Greece, you know, there's some sounds in there that will sound familiar to certain markets in Europe. And, you know, she has that traditional, this is good. And let's not forget, Angela Peristeri can actually sing. So there is room for elevation here.
Let's not forget, she's got Greek ancestry. Greece is in this semi-final that has been in the media. You know, she was on, was it X Factor Greece? She was on one of the reality singing shows in Greece. She's a known entity, and I think the press will get behind her. And the Greek diaspora and the Albanian diaspora, it's big. And like, I know that that doesn't count as much as it used to, but I think that is certainly, you know, a drop of water in her bucket as she attempts to move forward. Now, Doug.
And I think it doesn't count as it used to because it's often very heavily relied on. You get a crap song and then you're pulling all these strings of, oh, she's from Greece, she's from... But no, we're not. There is no crap song here. This is a good base product.
Yeah. And
in addition to that, all these other properties are coming in. I think that's just a wonderful thing.
And she's working with Sacha Jean-Baptiste. I think they deliberately went for a stage director, designer, A, who's just at the top of her game, but B, also knows how these Eurovision stages work. You know, she's been at so many Eurovisions. She knows all the toys that are available, all the tools. Sacha Jean-Baptiste can tailor things to juries. You know, it was a smart move because Albania, I think their televote tends to be stronger than their jury vote, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this will work in her favor.
I think Albania generally tends to go for, I don't know a single name which has worked with Albania in recent years. So this is the first time I've heard of like a big name working with their stage direction. No, I have confidence in this actually. I think this will do very well.
Now, Debin.
House divided. You're gonna go for Sam.
Excuse me, can I... Listen, Hunty, it is time to explain where we're at. So these are the 9 songs, you see the hearts, these are the 9 countries that we agreed on. Debin and I have 1 point of difference. What is the other song each of us are going to put in the final?
William, just give a final recap on our 9 locks, please.
Switzerland, Finland, Bulgaria, Moldova, Greece, Iceland, San Marino, Austria, and Albania. Now, would you like to go first, or should I go first?
You know what? I think we should talk about those we think are definitely out.
Okay, well, there were 4 countries that we both said are what? Out. The first one is Georgia. I just think this is too indie, and I think it doesn't really drag you along with it. It's great to tell a story from your perspective, your unique vantage point, but there has to be something to pull people in and keep them there. And the only thing I can remember is the dolphins in the video. And he can't bring no live dolphins on stage because you gotta protect the animals. So yeah, this is just too forgettable for me. It's not high impact enough. There's not a moment where I'm like, wow. I think it's pleasant. I think he's got a good voice. It's pleasant, but pleasant is not good enough. You need more. But I'm glad that Georgia can showcase one of its favored sons.
It's really unfortunate because I think that if Tornica worked harder and courted more fans, because, you know, you do have to promote, I think that this could have had a chance, but it was forgotten as soon as it was dropped. But putting all that to one side and just analyzing its merits, which I did in our reaction video, I actually really like this. But no, I just don't think it measures up to the Eurovision test.
Yeah, and in the running order, actually, a country kind of in this area, which we also think is out, is Portugal. Love is on my side.
I
Look,
know you were so touched by the prostitute
yeah,
story.
but viewers won't necessarily know that, and it's not even enough to push it through if you do know that. I think
you know that. How marketable is that? I was surprised you were so moved by it. I just
no,
don't-
it is touching. However, some people might say it's actually exploitative. It's like you had a, I don't personally take that view, but I can see why people might. I think, he told me in my interview with him that he's imitating a woman. And so he sings in this high register and he says, I could have been a queen. Why did I think I could be a queen? When you sing, you say the word I. Are you portraying the woman yourself, or are you sort of playing someone else in a way?
No, I'm trying to put in her shoes myself. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. So that's why I sing in that high pitch. I don't sing that high normally. So I brought the key a little bit higher than I usually do. And to pretend a little bit of a woman's voice. And I speak in the first person. So I thought I would be a queen, That's the verse that most shows that intention of mine to put myself in her shoes and to sing it in the first person.
But it doesn't come off. It just comes off like maybe he's singing falsetto and you're like, why is he singing falsetto? Oh, there's a prostitute. I don't know. It requires a lot of mental exercise, I think, for people who are just at a party tuning in and they just want something instantaneous. This isn't instantaneous enough. It is beautiful in its own way, but it's not instantaneous enough.
And the Black Mamba who've won Eurovision, I remember Susie calling me and going, oh, this is so great, they're so good, the song's so beautiful. And I'm thinking, Susie, did we just watch the same show? What do you think about that? That sometimes songs that go into Festival de Canção or win Festival de Canção don't quite work for Eurovision.
Well, this is why a lot of countries have international juries to sort of kind of balance what works domestically with what works internationally. Look, ultimately, I just think this is a great showcase of a particular sound. I'm just not sure if Europe will be running to vote for it. Many people will like it, but will they be inspired to vote? I don't think so. Look, the third country we both have on our list of being out is Poland. The Ride. This is an interesting one, Devin. I interviewed him, and he is so charismatic, so charming, very handsome. There's a warmth to him. Someone compared him to Serhat, and after watching the interview, I get that vibe, the likability factor.
I love Serhat.
Yeah, it's like this kind of like daddy dearest vibe. Do you know what I mean from both of them? Like, they're just warm people. And a final question, which you're going to be asked so many times in Rotterdam.
Okay.
Do you have a message for all of your new international fans?
Yes, of course. First of all, many greetings from my country to all the fans. And it's a big chance, a big opportunity to be a part of this big community. So thank you for that. And let's be open in this year, because we have the statement is about open up this year. Yeah.
But he's much younger, right?
39. The staging works for me, actually. The music video, it's quite cool. I love the neons. He says that on stage he's gonna have the music video playing on the LED, so you'll see the neon museum, you'll see the dancing, and then he's got new choreography. I think the song
I don't think that's going to be strong enough.
No. I think, in a tough competition.
He's going to wear his sunglasses as well, right?
So he said he likes to have a different persona than the TV persona, so that's his sort of stage persona.
It's not going through.
Why? I'm curious, why?
I just think it's not enough of a surprise to replicate. And I just think in the sea of what else is going in, I just can't see it pushing through. I'm predicting like 12th, but 12th is not in the top 10. I mean, that's just, yeah.
The thing is, this is weirdly likable. I don't skip it when it comes on, but it's not a song I'm rushing to play. Do you know what I mean? It's like the Cheeky Girls cheeky. I find it amusing, but maybe not musical. Like The Ride, I wouldn't call it like high art. You know what I mean? But like, it's okay to like things that are somewhat disposable.
Well, it's higher art than Sugar. You know,
Sugar is amazing. I'm sorry. Sugar. A woman who uses sugar as a metaphor for desire. There's some thought there. There's a message there at least. Look, can we just focus on what we agree on? Poland is out.
In terms of playability, I do like The Ride, and I do listen to it, and I like the ease of the lyrical structure of it. And I think it's got a killer hook. I think it's fantastic, but I just don't think that staging is going to cut through. The thing is, Rafale's staging actually requires a lot of people. You need more than 6 to have any kind of visual impact. If you're going to strip that back to be joined by 5 other dancers, it's just going to look limp. And currently, in my assessment, I just think there are stronger entries visually.
Our girl does not want it limp, she says. All right, we move on. The 4th country we both agree is out is Czech Republic. Now, I'll let you kick it off. Why is Czech Republic out in your books?
I'm not Lucy Percy. Let's just start with that. I just don't think it's good. I really don't think it's good. I just don't think it's good enough. You know, why don't you come and have it? Why don't you let me have it? Oh my God, oh my God. It's just, you know, I think those who like it will have other songs they like more. I just don't see anybody rushing to vote for this as their best entry at Eurovision. It's just not, it's not different enough. Like K-Mama, his previous entry, and I hate to make these comparisons, but it stood out. So it really does court people who like WOMAD sounds, like, you know, world music sounds, people who like Afrobeat, people who just like that cool urban flavor, you know, the sounds of people like Burna Boy and Wizkid and kind of, you know, Zouk music. They're gonna like that, and you know, it's actually, these sounds are becoming quite international. So, oh my God, just cooks it at a really uncomfortable temperature. It's just tepid. It's limp. It's like comforting yourself with a wet blanket. What pleasure are you going to draw from that? This is just not good enough, quite frankly.
I take your point. Songs require something special you can hook onto, grab onto, that motivate you to get up and vote. And many people will like this again, but will they like it enough to vote? Because ultimately, you vote for 1 or 2 songs, right? Like, you're not voting, maybe Lucy Percy's voting for 10, I don't know. Like, you're not voting for 10 different songs, you're voting for 1 or 2. So yeah, I do take your point. The thing is, I think the saving grace for this will be Benny, because as we've said before, he's a brilliant live performer and he can move. You know, he's doing jiu-jitsu, he's doing snowboarding, he's just aware of his body, and that really does help you as a singer. You know, the strong diaphragm to sing out loud, the movement, the choreography, and we know he'll have dancers. So I'm hoping this will elevate live. Debin, though, I gotta say, Debin, if he delivers a kick-ass live performance, I think this could come close. I'm not ruling it out 100%, but he's really going to have bang on staging, because as it stands like now, just on music videos, I would put it out. But with dancing, choreography, and that Benny, you know, live spirit, maybe 10th is possible, maybe.
I think what you need to remember is that nobody is being judged solo. You are being judged and referenced amongst your other peers. I don't see any Rebecca Blacks in this competition. You know, everybody's bringing their A game. Everybody can sing. Seriously, there are some years when you do question some vocals. But this year, there are no vocal issues. Everybody can actually sing. And, you know, everybody's a good performer in their own right. And what made Benny Cristo so different and made him really stand out is what he's sacrificed so that he doesn't read as a one-trick pony. Well, guess what? I'd rather you do your same tricks and inch into the final like Cleopatra from Azerbaijan than to serve a different flavor, but it's a flavor that no one's eating. Boo.
kind of like the prawn ramen noodles. Like growing up, the chicken and beef were always sold out, but then the prawn, there was always extra at the grocery store.
You know what? And yes, back in the day, how many pescatarians were there? I mean, there comes a point where, Benny Cristo, if you've been invited as the interval act at the Czech national selection for 2021, had one taken place, yeah, perform Oh My God. But give us that Afrobeat flavor that everybody fell in love with. I mean, it's interesting. He changed that song so many times. And ultimately, he went back to the original version. And oh my God, he should have done a Victoria, you know, a little dramatic EP. Give us different moments, different flavors. If you're that invested in your fans, which clearly he was last year, then draw them into the process and let them guide you. Because you're more likely to vote for somebody that you've chosen. You know, like this year, I'm really curious to see what Bulgaria did because I was part of the voting process. Do you see what I mean? Because you journey with artists.
Okay, so we need to move on. So there are 4 countries we have not discussed. So do not reveal yet who you're putting through. Let's first just tell the people the 4 countries we have not discussed are Estonia, Denmark, Latvia, Serbia. So why don't I pick one at random? Okay, Denmark. Let's talk about Denmark because neither of us have named this. Do you think this is going through?
No. It's interesting. It's actually charted in Norway as well. It was #1 in Denmark. It's charted in Norway and somewhere else.
Well, let me just tell you, Norway's not in this semi-final, so that's not gonna help it. I also had this. This is not my other pick. I think it's wonderful. I think on stage.
It's not your pick. It's not my pick. Why isn't it out?
Oh, it's out. You know, the thing is, I do think this, if one does surprise, I think this could be it. Closing the show, completely different from everything else in this. Yes, it's 80s and so is Stefania, but Stefania is a modern 80s. This is deliberately old 80s, reaching back into the depths of the DR Danish broadcaster costume closet. The lead singer, so much charisma, jumping off that mic stand and taking the mic with him. He doesn't need it. He just wants to dance around with it. It's kooky. It's out there. They're infectious. They're charismatic. I just worry, though, will a Danish language song from the 80s cut through a tough field and make it? It's an uphill climb, and at this point, I'd say it's less likely to happen than it is likely to happen.
The only credit I'll give to the Danish entry is that it's probably the most Eurovision sounding entry of the year. Like if you heard this randomly in a store or, you know, or on some random internet radio station, you'd be like, oh, sounds very Eurovision, you know? And if you didn't pick that up and it was pointed out to you as a Eurovision entry, you're not going to doubt it because it just sits very comfortably in this Eurovision genre, even though there isn't such a thing, because Eurovision is actually a cluster of, you know, a confluence of sounds. But yeah, so I'm going to give it that. It does sound like it belongs here. Yeah, but no, I just don't think this is strong enough, and this is the weaker of the 2 semis. I don't know.
All right, another country that neither of us have mentioned is Latvia. Is this your 10th qualifier? Is your blood moon rising?
Wiwiblogger Suzanne Adams absolutely loves this, but I can't share her passion on this occasion. Whilst I love Samantha Tina and have done for several years, I'm still breathing on her. But this one, is your blood moon rising, William Lee Adams?
The moon was rising, but it did not reach my horizon. So there is no blood moon on my horizon.
Is there a super moon?
Is there a crescent moon? Crescent moon makes me think of those little croissants you can buy at the grocery store in the tin that you pop open and bake at home. Pillsbury dough, boy, realness. Look, this is one to me that I really had to think about. And I've said this a million times. Musically, I'm not so into it. However, Samantha Tina, actually more than anyone in this semi, she owns the stage. She's a presence. She's a presence. Big voice.
what we're judging. I'm sorry.
No, but live, Devin, let me say this.
Live
Live,
on
no, I
tape.
have to say this. Live, you do judge the voice, the presence, and the staging. And if she delivers epic staging, it can make all the difference. Without it, the song is sunk. Musically, it's sunk. It's not going in on its musical merit.
You know, if her live on tape ends up being the final outcome of Rotterdam, it's out.
Yeah, she said she hated it.
If it's a fresh performance, then there is hope. One thing I will say though, teaming up with Aminata Savadogo, she is excellent in putting out songs that have experimental feel, but at the same time quite pop and quite friendly. She really does straddle the world of art and pop. But this has gone too far conceptual for me. I mean, Samantha Tina does lose me on this occasion. I must admit, I'm surprised you didn't pick it, just because you've been raving about it ever since it dropped.
No. The entire time I said the same thing. I rave about the potential for epic staging, her voice. This song is made for her voice. She can sing it. I just don't think that musically it does it for me. But Eurovision's a TV show. And so, you've got to pair it all together when you vote. Look, The Common Linnets, it's a perfect example. Completely different vibe. But when I see it, I love it. When I hear it, I'm like, whatever. So yeah, we move on. It is not the Blood Moon. That leaves us with two countries. The two countries are Serbia and Estonia. Each of us has put one of these through. Maybe both of us have put, well, no. Each of us has put a different song through. So it's probably easy to figure out. So let me kick this off by saying, how the hell you gonna put Estonia through? I'm assuming Estonia is what you're putting through.
William Lee Adams. You cannot deny the presence of Uku Suviste.
Oh no, he's solid. He's solid. He squats. When the earth shakes, he's still standing.
And I'm still feeling it. Boom. I never imagined the power.
I never imagined the scene.
I never imagined the power.
What love? No, it's a good hook. It's a good hook.
Except that's not the song we're judging. It's the lucky one.
Oh.
But you know what, Boo? I am surprised that you're questioning me about Estonia. I think this is excellent. Do you know what my Wee Wee Jury score was?
What, a 10, an 11, a 9? What was it?
Well, it feels anticlimactic now because it's lower than all of that.
What was it?
It was 8. I really like this. And I think there is so much here. Like, my eyes are locked for 3 minutes, and I love the visuals. And I actually really
Wait, hold on 1 second. When you say you love the visuals, are you referring to Uku, or are you actually referring to the staging or to the music video?
How about all of the above? You cannot divorce Uku from his product.
Estilau was a mess. I'm sorry. It was a mess. The juries did not put it into the super final.
There is so much here that I'm loving. I really love how the music video is incorporated into the staging. I love the sort of backflip into the water. I really love the flashing thunder. The elements are here. You just need a careful editing eye. And my main criticism at Estilau was wardrobe choice. I didn't like the wardrobe choices.
Very waiter.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I think Uku deserved more. But Uku can sing. I think your criticism at Estilau was the backing vocals really jarring with his lead.
Honestly, fire them and use pre-recorded, because we know he can sing, but something wasn't working with those behind him. I want to bring up your rice analogy about, you gotta have the good song, you gotta have the rice. I think they do have the rice. However, sometimes I've been to a restaurant and I'll order, I don't know, the pineapple fried rice. The pineapple's good, the rice is good, the shrimp they throw in is good, the spring onion. But then there'll be some random unidentifiable meat product, and it's not good. And I think that's what happened at Estilau. They were going for way too much in their pineapple fried rice. Do you know what I'm saying? There was like a fake pork product in there and it threw everything off. There was something about the balance of the SD Lau performance. Because Element, like I didn't like the chains. I did like the close-ups. I did like him walking away. But then, you know, there was pinks and blues and what... I don't know. It was just too much. You can throw the kitchen sink, but maybe leave the fridge at home, okay? Leave the pantry at home. But they will refine. Because I think for Eurovision, the focus will be different. They'll have a bigger stage, obviously. I could see this elevating. I just don't know if it will elevate enough to advance. But I like him as a performer.
The stars and the galaxies. And I have to affirm that I'm not suggesting Estonia for victory. No, no, no. But we're talking about 10 spots in the weaker of the two semifinals. Are you kidding me? Estonia is in. It is in.
I imagine Latvia might give them some love. They are, of course, neighbors. Finland is here. Finland and Estonia have a lot of cultural connections. You know, the Baltic Queen sails between the two of them.
Uku is here. Uku is here. The lead,
he's handsome.
The lead star in the Estonian fairy tale is very much here.
Well, the fairy tale may have ended before it started. He is in position number 2. Producers chose to put him in the slot of death, which has historically been a kind of throwaway spot. Read into that what you will. I wish him the best. I think the dream team, when they're on. So maybe, you know, maybe this is going to elevate live, but we'll just have to wait and see. So your 10 are cleared. That means you have put Serbia out, and I can confirm that I have put Serbia in. Sinan Sadula, a Wiwiblogger of Bulgarian heritage, grew up in Bulgaria, now lives in Germany. He's very wise on sort of Eastern European folk music. We talk about this a lot. And he told me that he thinks Serbia will get love from Bulgaria, from Moldova, potentially from Greece, from Albania, and from, I have to sneeze, Poland.
Bless you.
Thank you so much. That really kind of gave me a bit more confidence, because there is a sound here that will cut across so many borders. Clearly it does not reach the shores of London, or at least the borough in which you live. You remember it. You remember it is the point, and that's what it takes to advance at Eurovision. Nothing else sounds like this in this semi-final. Yes, you have Moldova, Sugar, but that's a different type of dance. You know, and then what else is upbeat? Super upbeat. The Ride is dance, but again, it sounds completely different. Yeah, this is a very loud song. I think it'll irritate a lot of people, but that doesn't matter.
Super upbeat and powering through the skies.
Yeah, to the heavens, I would say. To the heavens. The three muses, or the sirens, however you want to spin them, they're going to catch some sailors with this song. They can move. This is like the combination, triple threat, voice, body in terms of movement, and beauty. They've got all these elements working for them. You know, groups...
Three. So did Moe 3. Who are also...
No, I'm sorry. Moya 3 had intonation issues. There was a sheep meme for a reason. But Debin, in this semifinal, we have Finland is a group. You've got a duo from Denmark. There's no other group. So they're going to stand out in that way too.
There are 3 groups.
Yeah, that's not very many. That's 3 groups out of 17.
So what, how many does it need to be for there to be many? 10?
No. If there were 6, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But they're just 3, and they're the only female trio. They have a USP, a distinct USP, beauty, voice, presence. I think you're underselling this. I accept fully your point that this is not everyone's cup of tea, and that it will be very loud and irritating to a lot of people. But just think about people who love TikTok, and there are all these TikTok sounds. And it's like a video game. I am the one. Come on and give me some. No, it's cute. It's got... La 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 la. La 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 la.
1, 2, 3, girls.
Come on, girls.
You know what, William? I will
So
say
d-
something.
Yeah, you'll say that Estonia is going through over Serbia.
Oh, hands down.
No,
But
this is incorrect.
I'll say something about
I'm gonna
Serbia.
blow my nose.
Serbia, for me, is a missed opportunity. I tell you why. I started off deeply disliking it, and then when they unveiled that short acoustic video, I fell in love with it. When I watched the Spanish ESC pre-party video message where they were singing over the vocals, it reminded me that, you know, Ksenia, Ivana, and Sanya, they can sing and they're credible. And it's the reason why I've fallen in love with Hurricane for several years. However, what we're going to hear in Rotterdam isn't going to be that raw vocal. It's going to be that really overly produced, really noisy, really clanky. I just wish they Coco Chanel'd it a little bit more. It's too full on. It's an assault on the senses in a way that doesn't feel musical or comfortable anymore.
I mean, do you listen to Spotify? Do you watch Vivo videos? Overproduced? Overproduced is in, hunty. That is a sign of modernity. They're like doing the opposite of Portugal. They're like, you can pare it back. We're going to throw in some more sequins, a few disco balls, crank up the synth. You know, it's fine. This is what we love about Eurovision. At the buffet, you have everything. You got that nice pork loin, you got the mac and cheese, you got your fried chicken, you got some rice, you know, to St. Debonair or Remy, because you got to have rice. Oh, girl.
And you got 1944.
Fish, girl. You got fish. Yes. They have everything going on at this buffet. Well, look, this was a much more civil video because we agreed on 9 of the 10. And yeah, I'm actually pretty confident that most of those will go through. If there's a surprise, you know, I think the only surprise I could see is maybe Denmark or Latvia sneaking in. Maybe Czech.
Oh, on a personal note, I'm just surprised you didn't even put Latvia through. So that's a huge surprise.
I love her. If we're doing this on like the personality game or like raw talent game, absolutely. But it's about the product.
Yeah, all 39 will be in.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. No, that's not true. No, I'm sorry. You can say I see the positive in a lot of things, but if you watch my reviews back to back and actually listen and observe, there's a clear top and a clear bottom. All right. In any case, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you living for semifinal 2? Do you think this is easier to predict? What are your predicted qualifiers? And what are the 10 countries you actually want to go through? Because there is, of course, a difference.
Oh, you started again. Just when I thought everything was going smoothly. You've tried, you want to go. Well, what does that even?
Yeah, because this was not who I want to go through. This was who I think will go through. But it's not, Devin, but this isn't like deeply personal. It's just like the 10 songs I listen to are also different than the 10 songs I would vote for. Because what I listen to is different to what I see. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to slice a fish.
Yeah, and many roads lead to Israel. What I will say, though, is that if I was going to choose 11 songs, your 10th pick would be my 11th. So actually, I feel like we
Really? So Serbia's your 11?
I would probably say Serbia. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. You know, but the thing is, like, when I'm in a moment, I like Poland. I really do. I find it weirdly charming. I think it's awful. And yeah, I
Do
think
you not like Estonia at all?
No. I think the song is a huge upgrade from last year. I think Uku's amazing. I just think what colors my main impression is sort of the Esti Lau performance, because that's the most recent one. So if we didn't have the Esti Lau performance and we were just going music videos, maybe this would definitely have risen.
And he hasn't performed since Esti Lau as well.
No, and I think if he had done some of these pre-parties, like, he could show off his voice, because he can sing. He's really talented. Anyway, that's what, yeah, I've already done my piece. So Devin, it's your turn. Social media.
Pinterest! You've got to tune in.
Yeah, what are we pinning? What are we pinning today? You know, crochet fabrics.
Uku Suviste.
His board on Uku is lit. Have you opened that OnlyFans account yet?
Girl,
Uku subiste. That's all I'm saying.
MySpace, Friendster, Tamagotchi, Craigslist.
Ninja!
We will see you later. Bye.